find something. Let's take a look now at tonight's Sonic blockbuster, and it speaks to the lack of size and depth that the Spartans have up front because they've got a couple of injuries. Gavin Schilling out indefinitely with a knee injury, and Ben Carter, a grad transfer from UNLV, who had a knee injury last year, got healthy, then sustained an injury again during the preseason this year, so he is out indefinitely as well. So no Schilling, no Carter. They are small. Kentucky is not. Kentucky to Michigan State meeting. This is the 6th year of this great event. The Champions Classic gets rotated around to different cities. The second time it has been here at the Garden. Both of these programs are 3-2 so far in the first 5 games. We've still got Duke and Kansas coming up later tonight. Our officials are Doug Shouse, Terry Oglesby, Gene Steratore. We're about to open the gate and let the Vitalian Stallion out of the barn. Let him go to work as he opens up his 38th season. Michigan State, Kentucky, and we are underway.
Calipari, Izzo, Vitali, Sciomino, and we got an Italian bash.
Sciomino. Kentucky, of course, in blue. Michigan State, the home team, in white. And the pull-up jumper from the baseline, no good for Malik Monk. He's one of these freshmen. Lepanto, Arkansas, terrific scorer, shooter, very quick. Speaking of quick, how about the matchup of the point? Tum Nairn for Michigan State and De'Aaron Fox, number 0 for Kentucky, 2 of the quickest players in the country.
You know, Fox can be a terrific defensive player. He's got to learn to play a little better when the ball's not in the hands of his player. John Calipari told me, he said, these guys play the ball really well, but then they go to sleep a little bit when the ball's out of the hands of their guy.
Bridges with the shot clock running down, and the freshman misses the 3. He had a very good game in a losing effort against Arizona. 21 points, 7 rebounds, and the jumper won't stay down for Fox.
They're going to make him make shots now. That's their game plan. I was in the locker room before. So I'm going to sag, pack it in, and let them shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Kentucky, as always, fresh cast of characters with a lot of length, very good around the rim, but can they make the consistent outside shot? Good ball movement. Nairn, not really a shooter. He'll dump it inside. And the basket is good for Kenny Goins.
Kenny Goins, interesting story. He was a walk-on. A guy that had 13 rebounds, though, in 18 minutes to beat Louisville. And now he's got a scholarship. Great movement right here without the basketball. We're going to see the ball dumped inside. There's Goins with the cut without the ball. He's had a lot of injuries, too, in his career.
Playing with a brace on his left knee. And again with Schilling out, Carter, and Deontay Davis, who went to the NBA. And Tom Izzo knew that was a possibility, but not a certainty. They'd hope to have him back in East Lansing this year as Isaiah Briscoe muscles his way inside.
They really say he might be one of the most improved players in America this year. He's improved his shot. He's worked on that. He's improved at the foul line. Because last year he was a disaster on the line. Shot 46%.
Nairn with the penetration, and Bam Adebayo with a rejection.
Little Bam Bam with the shot block.
And here's the speed and a rejection at the other end by Bridges.
Bridges says, anything you can do, I can do better.
Aaron Harris from the corner. Around and out of the rebound down to Willis. What a sequence that was, with Adebayo and Bridges matching each other block for block. And which way is this one going to go? It will go against Kentucky. McQuaid picked up an earlier foul, but he steps in and takes the charge there.
Got to take a look at Bam Bam right now. Here he comes over. He got that nickname because he used to watch the Flintstones. His mother gave him Bam Bam.
And when he was a little kid, he was turning over a table while he was watching the Flintstones, and the name stuck, and he grew up to be a big guy. Bam Adebayo, part of that outstanding Kentucky freshman class.
You know, I think it's the key player for Michigan State. A guy that's got to really score for them, Harris. Harris has got to be a scorer. Averaged 17.3 a game when he played for Bob Huggins in West Virginia 2 years ago. He's got to put points on the board.
This is Harris on the baseline. The kick in the corner. Cassius Winston for 3. Another member of that freshman class from out of Detroit. Tom Izzo says he might be the best passer that Michigan State has seen since Magic Johnson. That's high praise.
Wow, Magic. He was able to pass the ball a little bit. He had great vision. And they love this kid, Winston. Super quick.
And Fox on the drive will draw the foul.
Winston was Mr. Basketball in Michigan. Going to watch right now. He can make shots from the perimeter. That's a big plus. Didn't play much in that first game you did. There he is stepping behind the 3 line.
Got some foul trouble in the first half. Couple of quick fouls. So some of the young players for the Spartans did not get as many minutes as Tom Izzo envisions them getting. For a few minutes in the first half, he had all 4 freshmen in the game at the same time.
Well, he's never played them a lot this year. He's expected big things out of Langford. He thinks Langford has ability to be really special. 6'5" guard with a big-time recruit.
Fox knocks down both free throws. He's now 17 of 17 on the year. Kentucky comes in 2-0. They beat Stephen F. Austin, and then they beat Canisius. But Canisius in the first half gave a real battle. They were actually down 6 to Canisius before pulling away in the second half. Well, Bridges got bumped while he was up in the air, trying to slam home the follow. Briscoe misses the runner at the other end.
Tell you one thing, Bridges can really skywalk. Yeah. He was up really high from out of Flint. Flint's been so good that Michigan State helped them win that national championship in 2000 with Peterson, Cleaves.
Charlie Bell's a Flintstone as well.
Yep. Year before, Antonio Smith.
And the foul called on Fox of Kentucky. And we'll have another freshman coming into the game now for the Spartans. Nick Ward, number 44, 6'8", 250 from Gahanna, Ohio. So you can see how young this group is right now. All 4 freshmen are in the game at the same time, along with Aaron Harris.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They think Ward has a lot of similarities, a mini version of Zach Randolph, who played here and has done a great job in the NBA.
Wenyen Gabriel, another freshman for Kentucky, is into the game. 6'9" freshman from Manchester, New Hampshire. A lot of new faces to get used to on all of these programs. We'll see more with Kansas and Duke, but it's bigger freshman classes with these 2 teams than with the Jayhawks and the Blue Devils.
Well, it's amazing the job John Calipari does every year.
Aaron Harris knocks down the 15-footer.
He's got to be a scorer for them.
And Monk with a 3 at the other end. Malik Monk ties the game at 7 with just over 4 minutes in here in the Garden.
They think that Monk has that ability he can't teach, explosiveness, range.
Fox with a rebound, and he's going to push it.
He's always attacking. He's in an attack mode. That's why they go to the foul line so often, 69 times in 2 games, because they're always in an attack mode.
Briscoe wide left on the jumper, rebound to Winston. He's got a chance to take it all the way, switches hands and lays it in.
You know, watching him for about 2 minutes, he's going to be a player there at Michigan State. You can just see that he's got that quickness.
How about this guy, Monk, with back-to-back threes for Kentucky.
Who said they can't shoot the 3? Who said they can pack it in? Are you serious? Get rid of that scouting report.
Monk 3 for 12 from beyond the arc his first 2 games. He's already made a couple tonight. Now a strip by Gabriel. Ahead to Briscoe. And Bridges with his second block.
What a terrific defensive play. You talk about a sensational defensive play. Great timing by Bridges.
Aaron Harris short on the 3. A frenetic pace here in the Garden in the early going between Kentucky and Michigan State in game 1 of the State Farm Champions Classic. Fox. And a foul called on Winston to take us to a media timeout. What a pace in the early going. Malik Monk, part of this great freshman class for the Wildcats, knocking down not 1, but 2 3-pointers from the wing, an almost identical spot, and it's a 1-point lead for Kentucky early in this one here in New York City. Get into play a whole lot in their first game against Arizona because he picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half. He's picked up 2 quick fouls here in this game as well. Winston is back on the bench already, and Tum Tum Nairn is back into the point.
Well, don't get me started on this. We had a great conversation, Tom Izzo and I, before the game. I personally think, Dan, when you look at the court structure, the court has not changed the dimensions at all. Players have changed. They're stronger, bigger, quicker, physical. We should change the rule 5 to 6. People come to see players. They don't come to see them sitting on a bench. And so many times in the first 5 minutes, we have 2 guys sitting on the pine. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Change that rule from 5 fouls to DQ to 6.
You know, I have always disagreed with you on that, and I'm not saying I've come all the way around, but I think it's worth a conversation right now.
Players have changed. The size, the quickness, the court has not changed.
Alvin Ellis into the game, number 3 in white for Michigan State, a senior. This is Ward. He draws the double team. Shot clock's a factor. Gets it across to McQuaid, who buries the 3.
That's the capability that he has. We saw last year in the Kansas game. He had 3 bigs in the championship classic.
This is going to be a different kind of Michigan State team than Tom Izzo typically has. Smaller, but there's a travel on Monk. but they want to run whenever they can. They're very fast, and Tom Izzo thinks they've got an outstanding shooting team.
Well, you know, one thing is different as well. He usually has some veterans that are really the nucleus of the team, and then throws a freshman or two in there. Now he's got to count on the freshmen being impact players right away. Look at John Calipari. Oh, he's never happy. He's never, ever happy, except when he runs to the bank with that check they're paying him. That brings a smile to his face as the cash register goes ding-a-ling-ding, ding-a-ling-ding, almost like yours.
You are, man, oh man, you are off and running tonight, my friend. Tied at 12, 6 minutes in.
That's the Big Apple. That's what it does to you.
Bridges had Adebayo on him. Now a switch, tapped away by Gabriel. Kentucky in transition. Monk tried to throw it up there for Fox, and it was tipped away at the last moment.
Well, he was trying for the spectacular play right there. But you got an example of what this Kentucky team's going to do. They're going to run, baby, run. Exciting to watch. There'll be a lot of slam dunks when they get the rhythm, the timing. People have to understand, these kids are only together for like a month or so.
Bridges will go to the bench. Kenny Goins back in. Bridges played 37 out of 40 minutes against Arizona. Tom Izzo said, I just can't play him that much. He's going to try to get a little more work from his bench and give Bridges some breathers. Good hands there, tipped out of bounds by Goins. But of course, with some other bigs out, I mean, there's just a temptation, obviously, on Tom Izzo's part to leave this kid in the game as often as he can.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't think they're going to get Schilling back from what I hear. It's going to be very tough. I hope he comes back, but it really looks tough. Carter, forget about it. He is not going to play this year at all.
Monk, another three.
Well, he's feeling it tonight.
Welcome to the Garden. Welcome to the big city. Malik Monk, his third three in the game already.
He's out of Bentonville, Arkansas. That's where he played high school.
Born in Lepanto, Arkansas, and he's 3 for 3 from three-point range.
He's the second most important guy in Bentonville to Sam Walton in Walmart. That's what it was. I spoke there several times at big events down there in Walmart headquarters.
This is Isaac Humphries. Good ball movement. Adebayo with a 17-footer short. And we'll have a time, and the arrow will turn it back over to the Spartans.
You know, he's not going to deviate from his game plan. You see Monk getting those open threes, but that's part of the game plan of Tom Izzo. Pack it in and let them shoot the perimeter shot. He thinks they're a very average shooting team from the perimeter. What a coach. Hall of Famer, John Calipari, Hall of Famer. Coach K coming up next. A genuine solid goal Hall of Famer. And Bill Self will be a Hall of Famer.
Soon.
Should be.
McQuaid off to Ward. Goins looking for some help. Still 10 to shoot. Ellis. Wraparound pass tipped away and stolen. Fox. Monk. And he misses his first three of the night after making 3 in a row.
And that was close. No, in and out.
Well, he doesn't need much time to pull up and shoot, does he? Ellis long on the 3. Ward with a good rebound in traffic, but can't put it back up and in.
There's that pressure on you all the time, the way they push the ball up the floor.
Gabriel for 3. And it rattles out for Wenyon Gabriel, who's got a lot of perimeter skills, was 6'1" when he got to high school and grew to 6'9".
Well, John Calipari raves about his potential, but he gets back again to one word: defense. If guys want to play, Willis, whoever, they're going to have to play defense or they're going to sit next to me, is his motto.
Goins with a jump hook, and Gabriel got all of that. Ward puts it up, can't finish, and down to the Wildcats.
Double trouble.
Yep, call for the carry to take us to a timeout. 15-12 Kentucky, 8:50 in. When we come back, the new Hall of Famer Tom Izzo with our Seth Greenberg behind the bench. In charge of the Knicks. We're here in the Knicks building. He is watching the games here tonight. And speaking of coaches, Tom Izzo's with Seth Greenberg.
Tom, you got the pace where you want it. There's one thing you'd like to do, maybe to try to get Miles involved in the game a little more.
Yeah, got to get Miles involved a little bit. Got to get Aaron Harris to get back on defense, you know. Give Monk credit, but he hit the 3 threes. That's the difference in the game right now. So we got to do a better job. We're doing a decent job in transition, but we're not finding the shooter, and they only got one right now.
Thanks.
Well, so there it is, the difference of the game. Monk knocking down the threes, and Aaron Harris, an important guy, not just offensively, defensively for this Michigan State team.
Yeah, he really is a guy that's got to really give him, I think, point production. I mean, he scored so big, but you're right, he's got to play defense. He's a good athlete.
Bridges back in the game. Can't get it to stay down. Boy, the Spartans have had some opportunities that just have not fallen for them. So Monk is on the bench right now for Kentucky. The backcourt consists of Fox, Briscoe, and Dominique Hawkins has come into the game.
Tell you one thing, you look at Fox, that point guard, great pass, had the great angle, the post entry. What a tremendous look. Fox is absolutely special. You think about the great point guards he's had.
Bam Adebayo with the slam to extend the lead to 5.
Well, you can't give him that baseline. The strength on the inside, you got to force him to your help side. He had the great angle. Look at the box. I mean, that was layupville. I could have made that inside. I could have. No, don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Bridges is a big guy, 6'7", 230. But Adebayo is 6'10", 260. And the rebound on the missed free throw comes down to Kentucky. Fox steps into a 3. And Kenny Goins down for the rebound. Give McQuaid a lot of credit on the block out to free up his teammate for the rebound.
You know, I think Fox is thinking too much on his shot. He hasn't been able to make a 3 yet this year. And every time he releases it, looks to me like he's pressing a little bit.
Wade, good outside shooter. Bridges and Adebayo matched up at this end of the floor as well. 2 McDonald's All-Americans, 2 possible lottery picks in the NBA draft next summer. Shot clock running down, and they don't get it off.
Good job defensively by Kentucky. Poor job by Michigan State with their efficiency and their offensive execution.
And coming up tomorrow night, it's an NBA Wednesday doubleheader. The Golden State Warriors head north of the border to take on the Toronto Raptors, and then at 10:30 Eastern Time, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies and the LA Clippers. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN.
What about DeRozan, man? He's off to choice up there in Canada. They must love him up in Canada.
What, 30 or more, 8 of his first 9 games? Michael Jordan, the last guy to do that?
He's pretty good.
Briscoe for 3. And Bridges, look at how high he gets for the rebound. He is a spectacular leaper. Kept the dribble alive, and he finds Winston back into the game playing with 2 fouls.
He's just a big-time athlete. You talk about being an athlete, somebody can run, jump, he's certainly one. Here's at his best, going to the basket.
And lays it in with the left hand. He is tough and he is strong.
Yeah, he's very physical to the goal, comes from out of New Jersey. I'm sure he has a lot of people here from out of Roselle Catholic. Roselle also that area is where they produced a guy by the name of Rick Barry, whose son, by the way, now is playing for Florida.
That's right. 7-point lead, and Big Blue Nation making some noise here in New York City.
Talent, my friends, talent. They got talent all across that board.
Winston draws the foul. Well, we talk about the freshmen so much, but Isaiah Briscoe may be about as important to this team as anybody.
Well, he brings that leadership, that experience, that toughness. He's a tough competitor. You know, last year had to play in the shadows of Ulis and certainly Murray in a great backcourt. They might have been the best. I thought they were the best backcourt in America. It's amazing to lose 2 like that, come back to a Monk and Fox. Unbelievable.
Travel called on Bridges, so Michigan State has gone cold when they do get a shot off, and they're not getting enough shots off. That's the 6th turnover they've committed in the game already.
Well, 18 turnovers, and that's what Tom told me. Spoke to him on the phone the other day. He said, we got to reduce turnovers. We got to do a better job in transition. We got to stand a foul trouble to have a chance. And 18 turnovers against Arizona.
What a tough schedule for Michigan State to start the season. Going and playing Arizona in the Armed Forces Classic. They lose by 2. Playing Kentucky here. They've got a couple of home games coming to Mississippi Valley State, Florida Gulf Coast, but then they go down to the Bahamas where they could wind up facing Louisville, and then their ACC Big Ten game is at Duke.
Wow, plus the 13,000 plus miles in the month of November travel.
Well, Tom Izzo will do that as much as just about any coach in America. He's going to find out a lot about his team in the first month of the season. Kentucky leading by 9.
I'm so impressed with Malik Monk here early in this game. He's been dynamite, not only making the threes, you can see his unbelievable jumping ability.
He's got 11 of their 21. Winston.
Oh, he got one nice pass, but he could have made that layup. Could have made that layup, only made an extra pass. I'll tell you, he's going to be a heck of a player for Michigan State.
Apprenticing, if you will, under Tum Nairn, who's the starting point guard, a great leader, but a guy who's really embraced Winston and the entire freshman class. Monk short.
I still think Harris has got to get going. They cannot win unless Harris becomes a double-figure scorer.
How about Winston, and rejected by Derek Willis.
Great outlet, too. Look at that outlet pass.
Briscoe with a lay-in at the other end.
Run, baby, run. They're going to love that. You talk about those thoroughbreds that can run on a racetrack down there in Kentucky. They're going to love seeing these dudes run, baby. Run. Tar Heels are for real, man.
Yep. I'll
tell you one thing. They're special. And then Indiana has that big win over Kansas where they really played well. Think of Bryant.
OG Anunoby.
Yeah, Anunoby, terrific player as well. One of them blocked it. He's my player of the week. He's my player of the week.
What a game that was. Indiana in overtime. Beating Kansas 103-99 in the second game of the Armed Forces Classic. There's another turnover. That is 7 miscues already by Michigan State.
They got to find a way to start to get a little more execution. This can get away from them. They're so explosive, Kentucky.
3 freshmen in the game right now for the Wildcats. Fox, Monk, and Adebayo. This is Briscoe. Good help there from the backside by Goins.
Goins, a guy who gives you everything he has. He plays so hard.
Deflection.
Got to use the bounce pass there. Had a great angle. Got to put that bounce pass.
And it's another turnover, Dickie V.
Turnover City. That's been their problem. You know, Tom Izzo gets 1 5-star big-time player in Bridges. John Calipari loads up with 5 of them. Most schools should go absolutely ballistic if you can sign a 5-star player. You get one.
And Kentucky was recruiting Bridges hard.
Oh, big time.
They almost landed.
Yes, sir. Told me he wanted him badly.
And away from the ball, Adebayo is called for the offensive foul.
Look at the size now. They'll take Adebayo out, and they'll come in with Humphries.
Right.
I mean, how many teams can do that?
6'10", 260 goes out. 7 foot, 255 comes in. Humphries is a sophomore, and he's still only 18 years old.
He's a baby yet.
From Sydney, Australia.
If he can play, they can fight him. Kenny Payne talking to him.
Pretty good player back in his day. Winston with a pull-up. And Humphries with a rebound, and again they are looking to push. Monk will cross over and be fouled by Ellis.
He's just in an attacking mode right now. That jump shot goes for you, defenses come out on you, and now you can go right to the basket, utilizing that speed and quickness.
Tum Nairn back in for Winston for the Spartans. Fox to inbound for Kentucky. And a zone look now from the Spartans.
Yeah, they're packing in out of the zone.
Nope.
That'll match it up.
Back in the man-to-man. Yep.
Match it up.
Monk, his 4th 3 already.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it. He's got the rhythm. He's got the touch, the range. Likes to guard it, man. He's at the best of them here, the Mecca.
He had 16 points in the win Sunday against Canisius, 12 in the second half. He's already got 14 points here tonight.
Some guys just like the big stage. Eyes light up.
And Michigan State desperately needs a quality possession. They've been turning it over, just trying to get a good look. That's a tough shot. That is not a great look, but Nairn was running out of time and running out of options.
I'll tell you one thing, this Kentucky team also has the makeup to be a potential very good defensive team, because you start with quickness. You start with quickness all over the floor, and you got that kind of ability, and you buy into playing defense as a team. Now you go and elevate your whole game.
And we asked John Calipari at shoot-around today, you know, how quickly are they picking things up? What's the collective IQ, basketball IQ of this group? And he goes, you know what? He goes, I don't even use my whiteboard with this group. They get it. He feels that they are really quick studies, and they're understanding what he's putting in this early in the season.
Yeah, he really likes this team. There's no question. You can tell in the tone of his voice.
Fox called for the charge, the second one drawn by Matt McQuaid already in this game.
Why would you not like him? You're a coach. He's got every part you'd want. Size, quickness, athletic ability.
Hey, Dick, tonight between games right here on ESPN, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the guys will break it down from top to bottom, as well as a live interview with committee chair Kirby Hocutt, also available on the ESPN app. Do you have some thoughts on the matter?
Well, you know, that was chaos galore with three teams in the top four getting beat last weekend. I mean, Alabama's certainly a lock. Ohio State's got to be in there.
Bridges.
He's having a tough time in the perimeter. He's got to go inside and use that great jumping ability he has.
And this one getting away from the Spartans. They're down a dozen, but they get a stop.
They're not going to stop. They will not quit. They will fight, scrap, reflect their coach. Get back to the football. You know, Alabama, I said Ohio State. I like Louisville, and I like Michigan.
Ward with a big-time follow to get Michigan State within 10.
They need Ward on the inside to give him point production. He's got that body just like Randall. Those are my four, baby. Those are my four.
Quick timeout. We'll be back to the Garden. One of the State Farm Champions Classic, Duke and Kansas still to come. Malik Monk stealing the show tonight.
Yeah, he really is showing his ability to shoot the perimeter jumper. He's got that bounce off the floor. Shoots it really well off the dribble. There he is without the dribble. He's again without the dribble. And we can know he can get to the basket. He's super quick as well.
By the way, that was not a called timeout. One of the players had a cut, had some blood on his arm, and they had to tend to that, so it was an official's timeout that led to that break.
You know, Dan, talking about big moments, this is a big 4 minutes right here for Michigan State. They really have to take a little command here to go in the locker room and feeling good about themselves.
Humphreys with a travel. Good call. One of the points of emphasis this year with the officials is traveling, whether it's just shuffling your feet as you start a move or as you gather and set yourself for a jump shot. They're going to try to clamp down on that.
You know, at the point of emphasis every year we hear a certain thing. Then they do it right out of the start, and then all of a sudden it slides back.
Yeah. Well, the biggest point of emphasis, and to your point, and this has been the biggest point of emphasis for a number of years, as Joshua Langford makes a three, the freshman from Huntsville, Alabama.
They need him to step up and give him points. Langford came in as a big-time player. He's battling some injuries, had a hamstring problem.
Nick Ward with a foul. We will step aside the under 4 beat Clemson, right?
Yeah, no, I got Michigan 4.
Yeah.
See, I know he went to Ohio State, see, so he slides Michigan down to 5. You know, those Buckeyes, how they think. I'm going to tell you this. I personally think, and I'm just a fan, I'm not an expert like Kirk and all those guys, but I think the fact that Clemson struggled against a lot of clubs lately, then they get beat at home by a mediocre, just a little better than mediocre, I would say, Pittsburgh team. On the other side, you look at Michigan, they lose on the road, a heartbreaker to Iowa, who's a pretty good football team. So I'd give Michigan the edge at 4, but I think Clemson ultimately can get in there because the rest of the schedule, I think, favors them.
But you like Louisville in there at 3, too.
Oh, I do like Louisville at 3. And, you know, let's face it, you know, the Bo Woody showdown when we got Urban and Jim Harbaugh. I love that Bo Woody makeup now years ago, and I'll tell you that, that's going to be one heck of a game. Michigan, Ohio State.
I'm sorry, Dick. You may have just seen that stat. Michigan State has yet to go to the free throw line as Langford makes a long jumper, and that was a concern for Tom Izzo in their last game against Arizona. They only attempted 9 free throws and took 25 threes. Monk, 4 for 7 now from three-point range, and the Spartans get back into it, Dick.
There's time to get right back, and Langford's made 2 big shots for them. Came in as a big-time player, but he had a hamstring that set him back.
And this one is going against Ward. Offensive foul, his second, and that's going to send him to the bench.
Got that swing move. See, 2 fouls to the bench. We got to go to 6 fouls. 6 fouls in the game. Too much today where players are sitting on the sideline. It's the only sport where we penalize players like that. I mean, you practice your football team, you know they're going to be out there. In basketball, it doesn't work that way.
7-point lead, Kentucky. 3:10 to go in the first half. Kansas and Duke in the second game later on tonight from the Garden.
Mike Krzyzewski got those 3 type of dandies out. Can you imagine when they get all 3 of them back?
Still some great talent. They're 2-0. Kansas 0-1 after the loss to Indiana in Hawaii. Goings with a strong rebound in between a couple of Kentucky players.
He's a tenacious competitor, man.
Bridges with a crossover and a finish.
That's big time. That's going to bring a smile to Phil Jackson's face, man. There aren't many Knicks that can do what he just did there. What an incredible change. By the way, Phil Jackson's not getting a Christmas card from LeBron James. Have you read that? No Christmas card.
And now the ball's going back over to Michigan State, and Uncle Mo, as you like to say, swinging here in favor of the Spartans.
That's a big-time baseline move. Nobody from Kentucky took the baseline away. Look at the change of direction. Low, explosive. He is super scintillating, sensational. Look at the bench. They love it. Are they jubilant? They love it. They sense our guy Miles. Oh, take a look right here. Are you serious, Miles? Are you serious?
It was a 12-point lead for Kentucky. It's now 5. You talked about how important the last 4 minutes of the half would be for the Spartans.
Well, it really is. You know, let them a little momentum, a little confidence. Get the ball inside. Let them double them up and find an open guy.
Bridges will dribble out of the double team. Still plenty of time. He'll drive, lose it on the way up, but it will stay with Michigan State. Meanwhile, some Blue Devils are in the house. Got John Shire on the left, Nolan Smith on the right. Members of the coaching staff for Duke as they are having a look firsthand. Remember, they're going to play Michigan State not that long from now in the ACC Big Ten.
Two pretty good players right there.
Yeah.
Shire and Nolan
pretty good
Smith.
backcourt. Huh? McQuaid. And it's loose down to Langford.
Oh, you got to convert that.
I think we had a whistle, could not hear it, but I believe there was a foul called on the Langford attempt. So he will be going to the line. The foul was called on Humphreys.
You know, Langford's got great size. Came out of Alabama. Speaking about Alabama, Avery Johnson doing a great job in recruiting. Lost a tough game to Dayton. Dayton Flyers very good, man. I'll tell you, Archie Miller.
You can see the left leg of Langford is wrapped. You talked about the hamstring injury. He missed both exhibition games, so he's just kind of getting back up to speed right now for Michigan State. Tom Izzo describes him as having an old man game. He's not the kind of guy who will blow you away, but the more you see him, the more you'll like him.
He's trying to basically say he's fundamental. Oh, you got to make those fouls. You got to make those fouls.
Bridges got fouled.
But they're going to love Bridges up in Spartan country. He's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. He's out of Flint. Think about that great team in 2000 that won that national title. Think about guys that really talk about toughness with Cleaves and certainly Charlie Bell, as you mentioned earlier. Peterson. The Flintstones.
Bridges averaged better than 26 points per game in the preseason. Had 21 in the loss to Arizona.
You know, we call these kids diaper daddies. You and I were talking during the break. These kids have played so many tournaments, so much AAU competition. Don't get me started with AAU competition, because I heard things today that blow my mind with some of the stuff going on, recruiting kids, 7th, 8th graders, kids not going to school, putting them back a year academically so they can play basketball. I mean, that's sad. I mean, coaches are telling me today it's sleazy as can be.
Michigan State just missed 3 out of 4 free throws. They're down by 4, but they have gotten back into it after trailing by as many as 12. Monk the kick, corner 3, Hawkins, no. And on the follow, Gabriel is fouled.
Gabriel did a great job coming off from the help side, coming up with that offensive rebound.
Coming up at the half, it is Reese, Seth, Jay, and Jay Will with the Jeep halftime report, analysis of the first half, Herbie Live, and predictions on the college football rankings, which will be revealed right here on ESPN and from the Garden Live between games.
I love college football. I want to make it very clear that, you know, in AAU competition, not everybody falls in that category. But the coaches are telling me today, Dan, it's unbelievable what's going on in recruiting of 7th, 8th, 9th graders. Promise them, give them all kinds of goodies. I mean, that's why the high school coaches become a guy in the background. Sad, real sad.
Way to the bench. Ellis back in for Michigan State after Gabriel makes a couple. We were talking as well. It's incomprehensible to think of it, and this is it's ancient history now, a long time ago. But there was a time when freshmen were not even eligible to play college basketball. You had to sit out your first year.
These kids come in and
Bridges is fouled. No, Bridges is calling for the travel.
Ooh, I didn't see a travel right there. I thought he got rid of the ball before he.
10th turnover committed by Michigan State. Let's get another look.
Oh, I don't see a travel there, did you?
Yeah, I think he's running a little bit. Yeah, I think he's running before he put the ball down. 5 turnovers committed by Bridges in the first half. So he is struggling tonight. I mean, let's be honest. 3 points. He's got 5 turnovers, but grabbing some rebounds. We saw the vertical leap a little bit earlier tonight on the dunk and on a rebound. And get a look at this. Watch how high he gets. You watch it and you say, boy, that's amazing, but he's not done yet. He just keeps going and going and going.
Wow.
Top of the backboard.
Wow, you can't teach that. You know, you'd say about 3 points and turnovers. Bottom line is you watch about 3 minutes of him running up and down the court, and you know the kid's a player. You know he's a player. He's going to have a lot of trouble sometime because teams are going to set their defenses to him, and he's going to need help from his other people to support him. The guy that's really disappointed me so far has been Harris, because I expected Harris to be a star this year with Valentine moving out early in the season, but he has to be the player that they think he can be if they're going to be right up there in the upper echelon challenging in the Big Ten.
But as Tom Izzo said to Seth Greenberg when he was talking to him a little bit earlier, he's got to get back on defense. Harris was the guy covering Monk when Monk made some of those threes earlier. And we have a delay of game warning on Kentucky. Too slow getting out of the huddle. That was a point of emphasis that was started last year to keep the game moving, get them out of the huddle as quickly as possible. A warning on Kentucky.
15 seconds you have to get on.
So next one would be a tee. Nearing the final minute of the first half, Kentucky with the ball in a 6-point lead.
They need to stop right here. Michigan State needs a stop.
Sasha Kalia-Jones off his leg and out of bounds.
See, if you can force Kentucky to play 5-on-5, you got a better chance than allowing them to get up and down the floor. And that's what Michigan State's been doing the last few minutes. Ball was out of the...
Yeah, good hands
Sasha
by Nairn to really cause that turnover. That's the 8th turnover committed by the Cats. Well, this is a big minute. Can Michigan State get a score and a stop? Or can Kentucky lengthen out that lead? Well, here's a steal.
Bad play right there. Bad choice. Trying to throw a lob over a 7-footer.
And it's a layup at the other end for Briscoe.
See what happens? They go from the defensive end to the offensive end so quickly, and Briscoe's a great finisher. Poor play by Michigan State right there.
Langford, nice look. Goins with a slam.
That's perfect execution right there. Great ball movement, player movement. You move without the ball, good things happen. You move the ball, good things happen.
Kentucky can hold for the last shot of the first half.
You know, I don't know about Briscoe NBA, but I'll tell you one thing. He's one heck of a college player.
Monk, no. Follow, no. Out of bounds to Kentucky. 2.1 to go.
Got to watch that lob inside now.
I want to get some perspiration off the court.
Got to be careful out loud.
Slip.
Got to be careful also for the offensive rebound, man.
It'll be Hawkins to inbound it for Kentucky. As one of the officials tries to get the Kentucky bench to sit down at the far end of the court. Briscoe got it. So strong inside. What a half for Isaiah Briscoe, now in a double figures with 10.
What a strong move. He's so physical, tenacious. He's what you can't call a consummate winner. There it is. Dump it right in the inside. Can't allow that ball in here.
34-26 at the half. Here's Maria with John Calipari.
Big play by Isaiah Briscoe at the end of the half. How does the physical play like that kind of help you go in the locker room?
Well, here's the thing right now. We're trying to shoot on 3 guys. We're driving when a guy's open and taking an extra bounce before we pass. The last play, we threw it to the post. They dug down. The guy's wide open, throw it. We're still into, let me make my own play right now. But I love how we're playing fast. I love how we're trying to defend. Gave up a few baskets, but it's a bunch of freshmen. Pretty good for a group like this young in this environment.
We see Michigan State pack it in a little bit. How do you feel about your shot selection in the first?
Not bad. I mean, Isaiah's he's hesitating to shoot and trying to take a tougher shot. He got to take the first shot. He's been shooting the ball really well.
Thanks, Coach.
So he's pretty happy, and why not? He's got an 8-point lead at halftime here in the Garden over Michigan State. 34-26 for the Wildcats. When we come back, Reese, Seth, Jay Billis, Jay Will, the Jeep halftime report.
And it's vital for Michigan State to have really a strong performance right here.
Here's Maria Taylor with more.
Well, Dan, coming into this game, Tom Izzo said that they would have to be really good with turnovers and finding ways to get to the free throw line, and those are the two things that he said coming out of halftime that they just didn't do well. Those 11 turnovers led to 9 Kentucky points, and he said that could be the difference in the game. He spoke with his freshman Miles Bridges about having 5 of those, but he feels really good about the way they've been playing in the half court, digging the ball out of the post, helping and sagging a little bit, but they will not be leaving Malik Monk open anymore in the half court sets, Dan.
Well, you know, Maria, think about it. You mentioned the turnovers. They had 18 turnovers against Arizona, led to 26 points. So they got to really reduce that big time.
And a couple of different starters here in the second half for Michigan State. Langford and Winston, as Fox is called for the travel. Langford and Winston, a couple of freshmen, are both starting. Tum Nairn is not starting, and Aaron Harris is not starting the second half.
Said it once, and I'll say it again. Michigan State's going to be very good. Harris has got to be a positive force with his ability to score. He's got to get back into the flow defensively as well.
So this is Winston getting the start at the point here in the second half. The kick to McQuaid. Bridges a corner 3. Got it.
Jay, when you get a guy with that size, capable, I know he hasn't shot the ball well tonight, but capable of making the 3 and have the kind of elevation and explosiveness, that's a special talent.
And as poorly as things went at times in the first half for Michigan State, they're only down 5. Fox misses the jumper, and a foul going to go against Langford. Adebayo just so big down there, and he was dealing with a couple of Michigan State players, but he was fouled by Langford.
It's hard to believe he played high school basketball last year with that body.
Briscoe with a pull-up. Got it.
See, that's example. Kids out there. Last year he was a horrible shooter. He has worked and worked and worked. He's shot tons of shots, John Calipari said, and you can see the improvement.
John Calipari said in the interview in the first half, he's hesitating a little bit. Didn't hesitate at all on that jumper. Bridges, and Tom Izzo won't like that. Remember the 5 turnovers in the first half. Tried to do too much on his own on that trip. Turns it over, and at the other end, Winston just picked up his 3rd foul.
Well, that's a great analysis right there. There's no question, Dan. He's trying to carry his club, and right there he tried to do it all by himself, and he hurt the club in that situation.
Turned into basically 1-on-3 as Adebayo wound up knocking it away. At the other end, Fox was fouled and will head to the line.
He hasn't missed a foul shot yet this year, has he?
That'll make him, what, 18 for 18? No, more than that. 20 for 20 on the young season, knocking down free throws.
It's actually right there is an indication that he has shooting ability. He can go to the line and do what he's doing. He's just right now pressing a little bit on his perimeter shot.
And the lead grows back to 9 for Kentucky. 2-0 in the season, wins over Stephen F. Austin and Canisius. Michigan State 0-1, lost to Arizona by 2 out in Hawaii. Langford had to alter the shot in the air, and it comes down to the catch with a chance to run.
2 bad possessions by Michigan State in a row.
Willis has it knocked away by Goins. And Langford lost a shoe, but he managed to get it back on as he was jogging down the court. Very young group here for the Spartans right now. 3 freshmen starting the second half. Goins. Wide open Langford. And no basket. A foul going against Michigan State on Bridges will nullify the bucket. A call for a push-off.
From the help side, ref was right there. That's the push, no doubt about it. No doubt, I can see them with one eye. Are you kidding me? I can see them with one eye.
Adebayo called for the foul as Goins got the worst of that.
Well, that's the post play inside. That's a point of emphasis this year as well. The swim stroke.
I mean, they continue to try to take some of the physical nature of the game out of the game to make it more free-flowing, add to the offense, and up to the players ultimately to adjust as long as the rules continue to be enforced at this level.
Well, you did the game. I did not see the entire game, but Tom Izzo was telling me in the game with Kansas and Indiana, there was 75 fouls. Is that true?
I think there were 63 fouls. There might have been 75 free throws, but I think there were 63 fouls.
It's a lot of whistles, man. Must have taken all day to finish the game.
Yeah, we're looking at that elbow there to see if there was anything flagrant. 38-29 Kentucky. Michigan State with the ball early in the second half. Duke and Kansas still to come tonight from New York.
Yeah, one thing, Fox has great potential to be a terrific defensive player. With his quickness, his size, he's got a good wingspan.
McQuaid in traffic. The kick to Langford in the corner. Long rebound down to McQuaid. Off to Langford. Forced it up. But we have a foul going against Kentucky in the Michigan State bench, liking the effort they're getting right
now. McQuaid right there made that play happen, gave him an extra possession by hustling, diving on the floor.
Willis picks up the foul and heads to the bench. And whatever Tom Izzo is hearing from Doug Schaus, he's not liking right now. McQuaid. Goins doing all the dirty work underneath tonight for the Spartans.
Well, John Calipari can't like what he saw right there. No ability to rebound, give an open look on an offensive rebound. He had 14 of those in the Canisius game against them, 14 offensive rebounds.
How about Goinstick now with 8 points and 6 rebounds for Michigan State?
Well, he's that kind of guy. He had 13 rebounds in 18 minutes last year in a big win over Louisville.
Briscoe just inside the arc, misses the jumper. Wenyen Gabriel with the offensive rebound as Bridges, he got up there, but the ball bounced off the rim, and he ended up mistiming his jump.
It didn't have good timing on that, Bridges. Now watch Goins right here. He's working on the offensive boards. Good inside position. Nobody puts a body on him. One of the lost arts in college basketball, blocking out.
Briscoe off to Humphreys, knocked away. Fox had 12 assists in the opening game against Stephen F. Austin. That is a Kentucky record for an opening game for a freshman. Goins down to the rebound, had it knocked away. Michigan State bench screaming for a foul on the play, and Goins ends up getting called for one.
Tom Izzo has a legit argument. He is upset. Look at him right there. Fiery Bison, really upset. Come on now, call the foul, he's screaming. Instead it goes the other way. Briscoe goes to the line. Remember last year he was a 46% shooter on the free throw line.
Goins tried to step in and take the charge, but gets called for the block, and that'll send Briscoe to the line, and you can see the reaction of Tom Izzo.
Look at the intensity. That's why he's such a winner, man. Plays every possession. Here's an area he has worked so hard on, Briscoe.
46% from the free throw line last year as a freshman. And cousin of Cleveland guard Kyrie Irving. Makes them both.
Tell you one thing, his cousin can shoot the ball. You better watch out. Let's put the Golden State. I will not put it past the king, LeBron James and company. The guy's a consummate winner.
Bridges with Briscoe on. Have a number of different Kentucky players to have guarded Bridges tonight. Winston into traffic, and it comes free to Monk.
So one thing, they get quickly from that defensive end to the offensive end. They can block shots. Not really a great shot blocking team potential like he's had in the past.
Monk from the corner, his 5th three of the night.
He's the star so far, baby. He's the star. He's shown why he's a 5-star player. Break your back.
And the lead grows to a dozen now for the Wildcats. Bridges kept the dribble alive. Wide open look in the corner, not there for Winston, as Michigan State's had some looks, but they cannot convert.
They had right there. They had Briscoe playing Bridges. Briscoe can play a lot of people. Very physical, tough. Even though 6'3" versus 6'7". All wide open.
Humphreys bothered from behind by Goins, couldn't finish.
He was wide open. He had to go to the basket a little quicker. Oh! Tell you one thing, he's going to bring the house down in Spartan country.
And a block is called on McQuaid. What a frustrating sequence for Michigan State fans. A missed three, a missed dunk, a foul at the other end. And meanwhile for Kentucky, Malik Monk feeling it here in the Garden tonight with 5 threes already.
Oklahoma, West Virginia, Saturday at 8.
You got to like Kentucky. They're going to get better and better. I still like Villanova a great deal. And I think Kansas, despite losing that one game, I think Jackson's that good. I think they ultimately could be there as well. But you know what? Let me just say this. Who last year could stand up and tell me, and that's the beauty of college basketball, why it's so special, why I have that passion and love for it. Who could tell me, as they try to throw the ball inside, that they would have had Villanova winning the national title? So there'll be some team somewhere that we're not talking about that can get up there and surprise people.
Coming up later on tonight, the second game of the State Farm Champions Classic, Duke and Kansas. Winston with a lay-in after the Gabriel dunk at the other end for Kentucky.
I had some fan when I walked out here at halftime. He said to me, Mayor John Sports Center, talking about that, Duke doesn't have those 3 freshmen. I don't want to hear that. They're loaded anyway. That's the anti-Duke sentiment. They got Grayson Allen. Nobody's going to feel sorry for them with Emil Jefferson. Certainly when you have Matt Jones.
Luke Kennard is back, the sophomore, terrific shooter.
Frank Jackson, very good point guard, freshman.
They're without Harry Giles, Jason Tatum, and Marquise Bolden. All 3 they hope to get back fairly soon.
And those aren't 3 average players. We're talking 3 of the best in America as high school stars.
Winston turns the corner. And Harris fouled by Monk on the drive as we send it over to Maria.
Dan, Tom Izzo was really getting after his freshman Cassius Winston during the last huddle. And he's come out back into the starting lineup in the second half, but he basically told him, be more aggressive. And we saw him come right in after the break and drive down the lane to score. So right now, Izzo riding his freshman, trying to get more out of him and more aggressiveness on the offensive end.
And it's one of the uncertainties, Dick, in a game of this magnitude in this building yes, these kids have played a lot of games in a lot of big environments, but you never know in this kind of an environment for the first time. Fox, look at the elevation as he slams it home.
Doesn't matter, bother some of these Kentucky kids. I'll tell you one thing, this is the making of a special Kentucky team.
Fox looking at his left hand as if he might have injured it on the slam. Keeps peeking down to it on defense. Ellis for 3. Yes.
He's had a lot of injuries in his career. He's given him some positive minutes, some experience.
Alvin Ellis III, now a senior.
They lost so much from last year. When you think about Valentine, the great year that he had, Forbes, a tremendous shooter, Davis, a young diaper dandy, who probably should have come back to school, but again, you can't blame the kid looking at millions of dollars.
Matt Costello, an important player up front for them.
And then Schilling goes down with the injury. Carter would have been a big help for them coming from Vegas.
Briscoe. And a foul, and when in doubt for Kentucky, if the shot clock's running down, throw it up to the rim. Chances are somebody's going to go up and get it.
I like De'Aaron Fox and Monk. What a dynamite duo they're going to be. There's a look at Fox out in transition. He's with the Jam from out of Houston, Texas. Big-time high school superstar. I mean, look at his size. He recruits those big guards. He just got another commitment from a kid, Shea Alexander, I believe, from out of Canada.
Yep.
About 6'5" point guard. He loves those big point guards.
Another great class coming in for Kentucky. The early recruiting period is not over yet, so classes are still being formed. But John Calipari, every season he's going to bring in some of the best.
Last year he went the route of a little point guard who was dynamic. He was big when the rock was in his hands. Tyler Eulis.
Dominique Hawkins with a foul, and Tom Izzo's probably saying, how can that happen on a missed free throw? Goins fouled. John Calipari saying, how could we get beat down the floor? And somebody's going to pay the price because he just sent Humphreys to the scorer's table to check in.
Yeah, that's a no-no for a coach. You got to hustle, be able to get back defensively in transition. This year, the first 2 games, they only gave up 2 baskets, or 2 points rather, in transition, Kentucky.
NBA doubleheader coming up tomorrow night. You mentioned the Warriors earlier. They are in Toronto to take on the Raptors at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And the late game, 10:30, it'll be Memphis and the Grizzlies. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
You can have all the All-Stars you want. They certainly got all the All-Stars any coach would dream of having when you think about the Warriors. But you got to play team defense. And that is the cry for John Calipari. He said getting these kids told me before the game, to buy into playing team defense, helping, communicating, sharing one another, blocking out, all the parts and elements that make a good team defensive unit.
Humphries surrounded, finds Fox, and Fox finds the bucket.
Fox and Bucky going to find the bucket a lot, baby. They just got that ability. My grandson's been sending me all kinds of texts, Connor. He says, I like those Kentucky guys. Oh, really, Connor? Oh, really?
Future analyst, perhaps? Ellis misses the three. Tipped back out by Bridges. Ellis into the chest of Humphries. And it'll be a block called on Humphries. Aggressive move there by Alvin Ellis. Second on Humphries, fifth on the team here in the second half, and Ellis to the free throw line now for the Spartans. Kentucky has led throughout. Michigan State had a couple of runs, got it down to 4 at one point late in the first half, but this is the largest lead of the game at the moment right now for the Wildcats, as Ellis misses the free throw. So not only is Michigan State not getting to the line often, they're not converting when they are on the line. They're just 2 for 7 as a team. You know, if you said to Tom Izzo, your team's going to out-rebound Kentucky, that's only by 1 right now, but 29-28. With Kentucky having the size advantage, he'd love that. But the turnovers and the missed free throws have been a huge problem.
Absolutely, but also the shooting ability of Monk has been a major problem. Not being able to defend him. For all those Spartan fans out there, in case they continue and they lose this game and go 0-2, I'll just remind them in 2011 and 12, they were 0-2. They lost to North Carolina, and they lost to Duke. And they came back, and they tied for first in the Big Ten and finished 29 wins.
Turnover on Michigan State. Timeout on the floor. Kentucky with the lead. Coach Cal with Coach Greenberg when we come back. Highlights plus NBA, NHL, college football news, NFL news, and everything else. SportsCenter at 9 after New Kansas tonight here on ESPN. Seth Greenberg is at the Kentucky bench with John Calipari.
Cal. Guard play pretty solid. Front court guys. All right. Can you find a front court guy to play?
We're right now, Bam is the beast that he can't move and they call fouls. And Sasha and Isaac are struggling a little bit, but we'll be fine.
Great, thank you.
He's certainly got a lot of bodies up front that he could choose from. Bam is a beast, isn't he, Dick?
Well, they got depth, they got talent, they got skilled athletes. I mean, they got so many people in competition and practice is always key. And that's how you get people to be better and better, competing.
Fox shut off on the baseline by Winston.
Nice job by Winston to make him take the ball out.
Briscoe steps into a three and into the hands of Aaron Harris.
Tell you one thing, it did go down, but it looks a lot better, his form and technique than last year. And by the way, people listen to Scott Van Pelt. That show is terrific. He does a great job.
Absolutely. 13-point lead for the Wildcats in the first game tonight. Kansas and Duke still to come. Bridges short on the three. Gabriel ahead to Fox. Fox will pull up. Humphries with the offensive rebound for Kentucky, and the ball out of bounds to the Cats.
You know, Humphries only 18 years of age, as you said. That size, you can't teach that size.
He lost about 15 pounds during the offseason, came in leaner and stronger as Bam Adebayo checks back into the game. Humphries back to the bench.
You know, it's amazing when you think of Kentucky over the years when John Calipari is able to convince many of these superstars out of high school not to worry about points, not to worry about minutes they're going to play, worry about winning. When we think back to their great team with Anthony Davis and Michael Gilchrist, I may be wrong, but my memory tells me statistically they were on the bottom there as far as the team was concerned.
But you know what? You have 28 draft picks in 7 years, 14 of them lottery picks. You know, you walk into a kid's house and show the parents that kind of information, and the parents and the kid are going to say, hey, I can deal with that. That'll work.
When I was trying to recruit and I walked in, your head was down. I need 30 visits to get you to lift up. When Calipari and Krzyzewski walk in, the kids in awe. They got the camera out. They got the autograph book out. They can't wait to meet with them. Same with Mike Krzyzewski, the 3 unbelievable Olympic titles, 5 national championships. Why would a kid be excited to play them? Plus, the school's not that bad academically either.
Kyle Arns into the game, misses the 3, winds up with a loose ball, and another possession for Michigan State.
You're right, Dan. You hit it on the nail. A kid sees what John Calipari's done looking at the NBA, that high school star is going to be excited to wear their uniform.
And stepping out of bounds is Harris. Another Michigan State turnover, their 15th on the night.
They got to find a way to get Aaron Harris to be Harris, the kid that averaged 17 a game when he played in the Big 12 at West Virginia. Tell you one thing they have as well, Kentucky. Such passionate fans, people that love basketball, who just on the sideline. They'll love him up in Spartan country. He wants to drive. He wants to drive, make something happen. If he doesn't get there it is, he made something happen.
Adebayo passed up an elbow jumper.
Never turned your face to look at the basket. No.
Briscoe will lean in and hit it. That basket's going to count.
I just see a different player. The mentality, you see confidence in him. You see that swag. He's got that Dan Schumann swag, walking around,
Fourth foul on McQuaid. So he goes to the bench. Nairn in for him, and Briscoe having another big night. Let's get more from Maria.
Well, Dan, I talked to Isaiah Briscoe, shoot around, and he basically said that working on his shot, a lot of it had to do with the hitch he felt like he had in his follow-through. So he worked a lot on that. He wouldn't leave the court until he had made 250 shots, and that was the one thing during the offseason he wanted to change. He was tired of people talking about his shooting percentage and wanted to find a way to become more efficient.
Well, he was an effective college player last year for Kentucky, but if his shot doesn't have to be great, if it just gets up to a decent level, he'll be a great college player this year. Nairn, not a shooter from the outside, passed up an open look at a three. And Arns is fouled on the baseline. Kentucky just quick and long defensively, Dick, recovering so capably at all 5 spots on the floor.
Well, they have that ability. They're so athletic. He's getting them to buy into playing defense. He tells them what happened now. You want to play, you're going to play defense, you're going to sit.
McQuaid misses the three. Briscoe with a rebound. Ahead to Fox.
3 guys on the perimeter are going to play 30 minutes at least a night. When you talk about Fox, Monk, and Briscoe.
Adebayo called for the foul, his 4th, as he ran over McQuaid in transition. And John Calipari's unhappy with Fox, I believe, for making the pass to Adebayo where he did.
No doubt he fouled. No doubt whatsoever.
But I don't think Calipari's unhappy with the official. I think he's yelling at Fox about making a pass to a big guy in that situation.
Look at the intensity, the emotion, the passion. It rubs off on your players. You have that passion and pride about what you're doing. It becomes contagious.
So Adebayo back to the bench with his 4th. He's been neutralized by foul trouble most of the night. Good hands there by Ellis to steal it away from Humphreys. And Michigan State just cannot make outside shots right now.
Getting some good minutes out of Humphreys, that size. Wears you down with that kind of size. They wear you down physically as well, rotating so many bodies.
The Spartans now just 5 of 22 from 3-point range. Fox shakes Nairn, buries it.
He's big time. He's big time. He's got all the moves. He just has to improve his range as a shooter. He emulates and talks a little bit about him, about Derrick Rose. When he had Rose, Memphis, now playing here with the Knicks.
Big night for De'Aaron Fox, 12 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Kentucky pulling away. The freshmen are playing well. Fox among them. And the Wildcats are up 18.
Yeah. Watch out for Oklahoma possibly sneaking in somehow, getting one of those spots before it's all said and done, because they've been hot, the Sooners.
And watch out, if you're in the SEC, for Kentucky. This is a good-looking Kentucky team, albeit Michigan State's undermanned, and they're not playing particularly well right now. But this Kentucky team, we're just getting to know these freshmen. They look like they've got a lot of upside.
It looks like right now in the SEC, once again, it'll be everybody playing for number 2. Florida, very experienced basketball team. But you look at their talent level here. It's amazing. And you can put 5-star players at every position.
Monk. What a play by Bridges. There is Gabriel trying to slam it home, but Hawkins with a steal for the Wildcats.
You know, Hawkins, one of those guys who gives you positive minutes. And never forget him against Louisville when he knocked down 3 big threes.
Had to deal with a couple of injuries last year. Cost him a lot of time, the senior from Richmond, Kentucky.
I tell you, Rick Pitino's got a very good basketball team. They can defend.
Hawkins no. Gabriel runs it down. Monk again. His 6th 3 of the game.
He's not a type of dandy, baby. He's a PT player. He's a prime-time performer, like Danny Schulman.
Bridges no. Boy, the Spartans can't buy one. It's all Kentucky and Dickie V. It's all Malik Monk tonight here in New York.
Malik Monk's been great. By the way, great job in the World Series. I heard you on the radio.
Thank you, sir.
Tremendous job with the Cubbies. What a great job right here. Look at Monk. I mean, can he shoot it? They said questionable shooter. I don't see that questionable shooting ability. I see star ability.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of
that tournament. And then their next game after that is at Duke as part of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. So a ton of miles and top teams that they're playing all over the place. This is going to be a rugged start for Michigan State.
You know, you mentioned St. John's. Great little backcourt. They got Lovett and Pons. Should bring a lot of excitement down here for Chris Mullen and company.
Hawkins at the line for Kentucky as the Wildcats go into the bonus with 7:01 to go. This has been an impressive performance tonight by the Wildcats, especially here in the second half.
Well, the way they defend it, really impressive. And then watching those guards, I mean, Monk and Fox are not normal. I mean, those are really big-time players. I'd be smiling too, man, if I had his ability.
Or his hair. we both like that. 60-38, Kentucky leading. Monk's got 6 threes in this game. He has made Madison Square Garden his own here tonight.
Still digging out defensive end, giving help to one another.
Loose ball winds up in the hands of Nick Ward, who slams it home.
He has great potential. He can really be a special player. He's lost some weight. He's trying right now to learn a little bit more how to play in the post, but he can be a heck of a special player.
And Tom Izzo is going to take a 30-second timeout here. It's a 20-point game with 6:39 to go, and right now it's probably not so much.
Very talented young kid, athletic, can shoot the ball. I think he shoots the ball better than what I did coming into college, but he's very athletic. He has some of the quickness I have.
And that's a full group of Kentucky freshmen that have been taking the court. How have you kind of seen them gel and build their basketball IQ with Cal through the first few weeks?
I think with us having the opportunity to go to Midnight Madness and we played the scrimmage game there, we got to see them play, and they all enjoy playing with each other. And that's a good thing. As a young team, and players like that, they play together and have a lot of fun. So I think they're going to do a great job and have a great opportunity to do something special.
All right, now that you've been out for a few seasons, what did you learn from Cal, and how is it still working for you as a professional player now?
Well, he taught me how to be a professional. In college, he wanted us to be like we was in the NBA already and treat us like that. And it was fun. It worked out for us. And just me learning how to change speeds of the game and learning how to play at a slower pace and trusting my teammates more. That's what he wants you to do.
All right, thanks for your time. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Marie Taylor, John Wall. Well, we saw Tum Tum Nairn, who's got John Wall type speed there as Michigan State winds up with a bucket of the putback by Ward.
Tell you one thing, John Wall was always one of my favorite players. He's a terrific player, terrific in the NBA as well. Be a little humble there, talking about that, you know, Fox could shoot as well as he did. This guy was special, absolutely special. And he is right now in the NBA.
And even Wall said that Fox shoots the ball better than Wall did when Wall came into college basketball.
Well, you know, the one thing about kids like Wall, Fox, on a high school level, they just dominate, blow by people.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about shooting the ball from 17, 18 feet. So it takes a little while for them to learn how to do that. And then with all the time and the effort they can put in, I tell you, he and Beal together in a nice little backcourt. Beal from out of Florida, SEC. Right now, this year, I think everybody's playing for number 2. I can't see a team in the SEC that can beat this team.
Who could give them the most challenge? Who's the next best team in the SEC?
Florida's got a lot of experienced players, so I think Mike White's team will be better than last year. But then you look at the conference as well. Texas A&M, they tell me, is a pretty good basketball team.
Florida playing Duke in the Jimmy V here in a couple of weeks,
yeah,
right?
I'm looking forward to that.
And Gabriel called for the foul for Kentucky. Don't forget, tomorrow night, NBA Wednesday doubleheader. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant of the Warriors head north of the border to take on the Raptors. Then it'll be the Grizzlies and the Clippers in the late game. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Melo in the house.
There's Melo right now. Remember, you and I called his first game as a collegiate. They got beat, correct? I remember. By Memphis, right?
Was that here?
It was right here.
In this building, right?
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
We talked to him before the game, and I remember telling him, so don't worry about what happens here. Bottom line, so look at Phil Jackson. He's a little bit of hot water there with LeBron James and his people right now, Philip. And he made a couple comments about he always wants a little special treatment with the posse. You know what? If you're as good as the king, and I'm running that organization, he's going to get a little special treatment. He's going to get a little special treatment.
Nick still trying to get on track, trying to figure it out, struggling in the early going.
They got a nice roster when you look at the roster with Rose and Noah. Question is, can they physically take the kind of pounding you take in the NBA? I like Carmelo. I like Porzingis. Has great upside.
Winston back in for Michigan State. How about Briscoe? You talked about the improved shooting as he makes another free throw.
His technique looks so much better. You know, Kentucky fans, when I'm talking Kentucky fans, not just the University of Kentucky, the whole state of Kentucky, Tom Izzo's hurt them 4 times. 4 times he's denied twice Kentucky in '99 and 2005 from going to the Final Four, twice Louisville in 2009 and 2015. 4 times in the Elite Eight, he beat them.
Ward cleans up the mess.
Not beating them here tonight, though.
No. All Kentucky here tonight. Both teams came into this game having gone 3-2 in Champions Classic history, where these two programs, at Duke and Kansas, they rotate each year who they play. Duke's also 3-2. Kansas 1-4 in the first 5 years of this event. They'll try to improve on that with a win over the Blue Devils tonight. Monk again. What a night. What a night. 7 threes in 11 attempts, 23 points on the night for the freshman.
He's just got that great elevation. He's explosive as well, so he's not just a stationary shooter. Look at his speed. Oh.
Couldn't finish on the dunk.
Should make the layup the easy way, laid on the glass.
Offensive foul on Bridges. Third on Bridges. And he's going to head to the bench as we get a close-up look coming right at you. The missed dunk by Fox.
We've seen a few missed dunks tonight. Guys nonchalanting it a little bit. As Bridges.
Got called for getting the left forearm up in the chest to Briscoe.
Out of control right there. Hey, biggest surprise so far early in the season. Can you believe this? Come on, Dan Schumann. Can you believe this?
Well, you got to tell me what this is first.
Connecticut is 0-2. Lost to Wagner. Lost to Northeastern. Wow. In fact, the AAC, Tulsa got beat by Jacksonville State. I mean, the league is really in a struggle city right now.
And Connecticut's heading out to Maui. Always a great field. Gonna have some tough games out there.
Let's Briscoe with that drive again. He's either hand. Temple also got beat to the AAC. Got beat by New Hampshire. Ouch.
Nearly stolen by Monk. Winston knocks down the jumper.
He's going to earn playing time. He's going to get himself a lot of playing time. I think before it's all said and done, he's a starter.
And Gene Steratore, one of the officials, will blow the whistle again after one of the players fell. They want to mop up the perspiration on the court, so that'll take us to the under 4 timeout. Don't forget, between games, we'll reveal the college football playoff top 25 rankings right here.
Urban Meyer and company.
And Herbie just stormed off the set.
He did? Wow.
He'll be back.
He does a good job.
He'll be back. All Kentucky, especially here in the second half. Don't forget, after the college football ranking show, we'll be back 30 minutes after the end of this game with the second game here for the State Farm Champions Classic, the Duke Blue Devils and the Kansas Jayhawks. Adebayo. Briscoe wide open, short on the 3. And Arns getting some minutes tonight, down with a rebound. Learning opportunities for Michigan State. The loss to Arizona, and now a 21-point deficit to Kentucky. And the Wildcats on their way to a 3-0 mark as Nairn flies in for the layup.
Lou Rawls Nairn. Lady Love, little Lou Rawls. Mom named him.
Lou Rawls, Tum Tum Nairn Jr.
Tell you one thing, Tom Izzo sending a message loud and clear to Aaron Harris. You want to play? You're going to play. If not, you're going to be sitting on a pine, man. And that's the quickest way to get an attention of an athlete. Put him on the pine, sit on the wood, get no PT. He's too talented and too important to this team.
He has only played 13 minutes in this game. It's not foul trouble. He's only got 1 foul, scored 2 points, 3 rebounds, but it seems to be that it was about the defense tonight.
Yeah, early defense against Buck. He was not happy with that defense.
Bridges dribbled it off his foot. A turnover-filled night for the freshman. Back to Kentucky. A look at some of their non-conference games after tonight. They play Arizona State down in the Bahamas. You can see that game the week after next on ESPN2. They play UCLA. They play North Carolina. They play at Louisville. And they host Kansas. Big non-conference schedule.
Well, they have to do that, really. They have these players to excite them. And now I'll tell you this right now. UCLA might be the most improved team in America before this year's over from last year. The reason is a nice extra pass. Bam Adebayo with the score. The reason Lonzo Ball and TJ Leaf, Jordan Bryce, Alford and company. I'm telling you, Hamilton, Steve Alford's got a team that can score. If they buy in and play defense, UCLA is going to create a lot of problems.
Lonzo Ball, another one of the special freshmen.
Absolutely.
One of the they're great freshmen every year, but this class seems a little bit better than most.
Well, it really is a special class.
John Calipari is going to empty the bench, including bringing in his son, Brad Calipari, who's a freshman walk-on.
I get his son may ultimately be a coach at Kentucky. He's going to get a 4-year experience of learning on how to coach. You know, we see a lot of father and sons right now, and I'm telling you, he's going to get that kind of experience.
Yeah, we'll see another one of those situations in the second game. Tyler Self is a senior walk-on under Bill Self in Kansas.
Tell you one thing, you mentioned great freshman class. It might be one of the best in the last 10 years, and a class that jumps at me that I loved way before you. 1979, man. Think about that.
Magic and Larry? Oh, no, 79 freshmen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, freshmen. Ralph
Who
Sampson,
you got, right, yep.
James Worthy.
Yep.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, Stepanovic. I mean, that was a dynamite class. Clark Kellogg.
Brad Calipari taking the 3, missing the 3. Crowd oohing and ahhing, his mom watching. There's a great block by Michael Mulder, a senior from Windsor, Ontario, who's just checked in.
You know, I don't know this to be true, but I'm telling you, nobody's told me this. I say his son becomes a coach.
Malik Monk's becoming a player.
Becoming? Becoming? Oh, wow.
Outstanding shooting performance tonight by Monk. 7 of 11 from three-point range. 23 points on the night. Meanwhile, for Bridges, a tough night for him, and you can see the look of exasperation on his face. He rebounded the ball very well. He had 12 rebounds, but he went just 2 of 11 from the floor and committed 7 turnovers. College football ranking show coming up between games, and we're back with Duke and Kansas. Mulder misses the 3, and it's out of bounds to the Spartans with just 24 seconds to go and the shot clock turned off. Blue Devils getting ready. Jayhawks getting ready.
Well, will the depth of the Jayhawks be too much today for Duke? Duke plays basically 6-7 players with the 3 freshmen not able to play.
Ty Winyard down with a rebound, and the final seconds will run out here. What an impressive performance, especially at the defensive end by Kentucky.
They did a brilliant job defensively. They shared the basketball. Their 2 guards are diaper dandies who are deluxe players. Briscoe has really improved. No question, this is a special Kentucky team. The Big Blue Nation, passionate fans, are going to love this edition of Kentucky basketball.
So another tough night for the Spartans. They drop to 0-2 on the young season. They'll have a couple of home games to try.